This video will explore paper 2, question 3. This is your language features question. And this question, of course, has come up in paper 1 as question 2. So the skills basically to answer the question are exactly the same. The marks are different and the time that you spend on it are different. So in this one, it's 12 marks and 12 minutes. But the process, as I say, is the same. And for this one, you need to just make sure, again, as always, you read the question very carefully. So for this one, you need to refer to source B and then look at the lines. Make sure that you focus specifically on the lines that you have given to focus on. In this case, lines 8 to 18, it will be in bold. Go to the text. It's not like in paper 1 where they'll get it in the actual question paper. Have a look at the insert and put a box around the lines that you're focusing on so you know exactly your area of focus in the insert for this question. And then look at the question. How does the writer use language to describe her first experiences of cycling? So the 4-stage process here is really important. The first stage is look at the end of the question. You know it's language, question 3 on paper 2. You know it's 12 marks, 12 minutes. You know it's point evidence explained. So the key is language about what. So if you look at the end of the question, her first experiences of cycling in where? In lines 8 to 18. So in lines 8 to 18, there's plenty of answers for you to go and find. Your job is to select those answers and then talk about them. So the first thing is, what are you selecting language about? So look at the end of the question. Once you've understood the end of the question, go to the insert, look at the lines that you've been asked to look at, and highlight your answers. Once you have highlighted your answers, which is step 2, go to step 3, which is link those answers to language features. And once you've linked them to language features, you can do your point evidence explained paragraphs. And remember, your mark scheme, your job is to be clear and relevant for level 3. That's your passing mark overall. So your point should be your use of terminology. Your evidence, lots of short quotes. Remember with quotes, that you don't need to write lots of text. Keep the quotes quite short, but try to use numerous ones. And then focus heavily on your explanations. Why has that word chosen when the writer could have chosen another word to explain their feelings on the subject? So what's the importance and the power of the word that has been chosen to explore in the text? How does it get their opinion across? How does it talk about the subject of the text and in the source itself? So a level 3 is a clear and relevant explanation in your own words of what is happening in the text with the writer's opinion. Level 4, question it, analyze those words. What is the moral of the story? What is the the writer in this one really saying about the story? Okay, so if we look at the answer here, an indicative one from the exam board for level 3, and in green we're looking at explains clearly the effects of the writer's choices of language. So the writer describes herself as nervous as a hare that feels the greyhound's breath. This simile suggests she is very anxious about cycling in traffic. In racing, the hare is chased by the greyhound, and this simile creates an image of herself as a small, vulnerable creature on her bike, with the other vehicles on the road racing behind her, like the greyhounds, showing how frightened she is of them. So once you've identified an interesting and engaging point that answers the question in the source, link to language features, and then really focus on explaining the story and the writer's opinion in the story. And to do that, explain it in your own words and your own opinions, and make sure you focus on the why.